Hi pension subscribers and welcome back to the channel. My name's Dominic James Murray. I've been transferring UK pensions for over 10 years now, so for better or worse, ever since I left university, it has been my sole profession, so I hope I can share my knowledge and experience with you on the channel here. Guys, today we're going to be talking about how to spot UK pension scams and how to avoid them. So first of all, we need to have a bit of a discussion on what exactly is a scam. So most people think of a scam as being whereby, for example, you buy something online, turns out the website was bogus, you never got your product, maybe you tried to claim the money back from your credit card. In my opinion, that's a scam. Or even something such as a Ponzi scheme where we had a Madoff, etc., where the thing didn't even exist in the first place. In my 10 or 11 years of being inside the transfer industry, I've never actually seen or heard of an instance of that happening. Doesn't mean to say that it's never happened, but I know a lot of people in the industry. So the idea that your money could completely disappear and someone's going to rip you off is pretty few and far between in the way that the legislation works. So you have to be able to transfer to a SIP, which is an FCA regulated product with FCA regulated trustees, etc., or an authorized pension scheme such as a QROP, which still has a large amount of regulation attached to it. What I would say the bigger elephant in the room in terms of scam, and I'm actually very happy that the FCA are now deeming scam to include people who overcharge people on their pensions. In my 10 or 11 years of working, I have seen this happen a number of times. So, client meets financial advisor, maybe he was a friend at the baseball club or the football club or five-a-side, or met him in a bar or a friend or a barbecue, whatever it is. A lot of these financial advisors, or sharks as I like to call them, they basically try to prey on people through personal relationships. Here at Cameron James, if I meet someone on the street and we get talking on a plane and it turns out they have a pension, I can transfer it for them, sure, why not? But it's not something we actively do. We don't really try to find clients in person or at golf clubs and stuff like that. We prefer clients do their own research, due diligence, and reach out to us when they want to transfer a pension. So you need to be really careful with anybody who approaches you in terms of pension transfers. Typically what will happen is they will either cold call you. Cold calling is banned and it's illegal in the United Kingdom. They would typically still do this in other markets. However, cold calling on UK pension transfers should be banned in all markets. Even for example in America, we can't cold call a client, not that we do cold calling, but we couldn't cold call a client and then talk about their pension transfer. It's just not allowed. So what you need to be careful of is you'll meet Mr. Nice Shiny Financial Advisor, maybe has a nice suit, nice watch, nice looking guy, has family, kids, etc., etc. Seems very trustworthy. Typically speaking though, what will happen in the offshore market is they will transfer your pension pot to a provider. Now back in the day, there was a range of bond providers which offered very high commissions to the financial advisor who started working with them. So the financial advisor places your business with the bond pays the financial advisor a commission, used to be 7 or 8%. I hear the industry average of commission now has come down to 4 or 5%, as a lot of clients can't stomach it anymore. But the problem was, back in the day, the paperwork didn't used to show you, the client, that the financial advisor was receiving that commission. The number one way to spot or have an idea that maybe a financial advisor is receiving commission and potentially scamming you if you do not believe the amount of commission they receive is a fair remuneration for the work they've done is how much is the financial advisor charging you? If there's no charge from the financial advisor, wake up. Nothing is free in life. Nothing is free in financial services, and I can assure you nothing is free in DC or defined benefit pension transfers. It's an extremely expensive racket and industry to be in. The regulatory and the PI insurance, the training, the staff, the examinations, it's all very expensive. So anybody who can do that for you for free, you need to stop and say to yourself, how could I be possibly getting this for free? Be open with your financial advisor. He may well turn around and say, yeah, actually, I am receiving a commission of 5%. You're gonna be locked in for a period of 8 or 10 years, and my 5% is spread across that period, plus I'm gonna have a 1% annual management charge of you. Now, you as the client might be comfortable with that. You might say, you know what, that's just how John's company works. I like John, I've checked out the company online, there's no bad reviews for them. However, personally, I would never like to pay someone up front. I wouldn't pay my lawyer 5 or 10 years worth of advice in advance on a commission basis. I like to pay them as they do the work for me. So with financial advice, I always think you should pay an upfront fee. This is the best way to protect yourself from being ripped off, is by paying your independent financial advisor an independent fee for the advice they're giving you. If they charge you a fee and then they're taking a commission in the background, then they really are ripping you off. But most financial advisors now are starting to move towards a fee-based model. Fortunately, I was under a couple of CEOs where I was able to take on the fee-based advice at a young age in my career, which has set Cameron James up very nicely. So be very careful. That's the number way to want to spot things if there's any sort of commission, is the fact they're not charging you on the way in. Number two, the second way I would say to spot any types of commission or scam is how high are your ongoing charges. If your ongoing charges for your entire portfolio are over 2% or even 3% per annum, you need to be asking yourself, where are these fees and charges coming from? So the financial advisor is charging you 1%. Okay, that 1% should mean that's his entire income. He shouldn't be receiving any form of inducements or commissions or trails from someone else. At Cameron James, our average ongoing cost for a DB pension transfer is around 1.4 to 1.5%, depending upon the client's risk profile. Typically made up of financial advisor fee 1%, underlying platform anywhere between 20 to 30 basis points, underlying portfolio, balanced portfolio, 60 to 75% equity weighting, around 20 basis points by blending active and passive management. So if you have very high fees on an ongoing basis, you should be asking the devil in the detail and what's happening there. Now in the UK, it's almost impossible to get scammed on a commission basis because commission was banned in 2012 in the RDI review. However, any of our clients who watch this outside the United Kingdom, you need to be really, really careful. The third thing that I would always look out for, as I mentioned earlier in the video, is anyone who contacts you directly. This is not something that should really be done in terms of pension transfers. Anybody who's contacting you directly means they're obviously not very busy in their organization, or they don't have any clients who are going to them directly or being referred to them to receive financial planning advice. So always be very cautious of anyone who reaches you out of the blue, sends you an email shot, cold calls you, meets you at your golf club, an event which is sponsored by a financial advisory firm, anything like this. Doesn't mean that financial advisor is bad. You could have excellent financial advisors who are doing that as their marketing strategy, but just be very careful, because in my experience, majority of times clients who got ripped off is when they've worked with a sharky financial advisor in one of those areas of meeting them first. Also, when you're doing your pension transfers, it will be one of the tick lists in terms of your diligence file with your ceding scheme. If you say, my financial advisor cold called me, etc., 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 that will probably turn an amber or potentially even a red flag on your pension transfer, which could mean the whole of the transfer gets put on hold. So either you have the option to lie and say, no, my financial advisor never cold called me, or you potentially might slow down your pension transfer. Guys, I hope that's been a useful video for you on scams. If anybody has been scammed or thinks they would like to have some information about that, please let me know in the comment section below. And as always, you can book yourself in for a free initial consultation with ourselves by heading over to the website and booking in via our Calendly. Whether you're in the process of doing a transfer or you believe you've already been scammed and paid high fees, let us know and we can have a look at helping you out with your portfolio. Thank you very much, subscribers, and speak to you soon.